Ever wondered if Arizona is a no-fault or at-fault state for car accident personal injury claims? Understanding this distinction is important, especially if you recently relocated from out of state and you want to know what automobile insurance coverages you need. Arizona is an at-fault state. This means the driver who caused the accident must pay for the damages. This is different from no-fault states like Utah and Michigan, where each driver's personal injury claim is filed through that driver's own insurance and regardless of fault. Arizona follows a pure comparative fault system. Under this rule, a jury may allocate each party's and non-party's share of fault in a car accident anywhere from 0% to 100%, provided the total equals 100%. Under Arizona's civil jury instructions, fault means negligence that causes injury. A plaintiff must prove negligence by a preponderance of the evidence that the other driver failed to exercise reasonable care when driving his or her vehicle, and that the negligence fault substantially contributed to the injury. In Arizona, drivers must have at least $15,000 for property damage, $25,000 for each person's injury, and $50,000 for all injuries that occur in one accident. During personal injury claims, insurance adjusters factor potential jury allocations into settlement discussions. For example, if an adjuster believes their insured bears 40% of the fault, the insurer will offer compensation for just 40% of the claimant's total damages, which includes medical expenses, lost wages, and general damages like pain and suffering. By contrast, in no-fault states, adjusters do not assign blame. You don't need to prove the other driver was at fault for causing the crash. Injured drivers file claims directly with their own insurers under personal injury protection, PIP coverage, regardless of who caused the crash. PIP coverage helps pay for economic like medical bills and lost wages. A drawback is that PIP does not cover general damages like pain and suffering, emotional distress, and loss of enjoyment of life. Arizona automobile policies have optional coverages called uninsured motorist, underinsured motorist, and medical payments. Even though personal injury claims under uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist coverages are through your own insurance company, you still need to demonstrate fault. An uninsured motorist is when the at-fault party had no liability insurance during the crash. An underinsured motorist is when the at-fault driver's liability limits are insufficient to fully compensate the injured party's personal injury claim. Once fault is established, your own insurance company steps in and pays the personal injury claim. This includes both economic and non-economic damages. Medical payments, MedPay, coverage, on the other hand, only requires that the insured be injured arising from a motor vehicle and that medical expenses are incurred to treat those injuries. MedPay coverage typically has limits of $5,000 or less, although many carriers offer higher limits. But unlike PIP that covers all economic damages associated with a personal injury claim, MedPay does not cover lost or diminished earnings or lost or diminished revenue. Automobile insurance companies do not offer PIP coverage for automobile policies issued in Arizona. Nevertheless, PIP may still come into play for car accidents that occur on Arizona freeways and roadways. Arizona has a huge influx of seasonal residents, aka snowbirds, during the cooler and milder months. If a seasonal resident primarily resides in Michigan, registers his or her vehicle in Michigan under an automobile policy issued in Michigan, the driver may elect to pursue a PIP claim for injuries sustained during a car accident in Arizona. Under Michigan's No Fault Act, PIP applies to accidents occurring anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, so long as the vehicle is titled, registered, and insured in Michigan by a named insured, their spouse, or a resident relative. Is Arizona a no-fault state for car accidents? No, Arizona is not a no-fault state. It's an at-fault state. This means the driver who caused the accident must pay for the damages. Arizona law requires drivers to have car insurance with minimum liability limits of $25,000 per person and $50,000 per accident. An injured driver pursues a personal injury claim under liability insurance for the at-fault driver. What is no-fault insurance? In no-fault states, you can get compensation from your own insurance no matter who was at fault. This is through personal injury protection, PIP coverage. It covers economic damages like medical bills and lost earnings without having to prove fault. PIP coverage does not cover non-economic damages like pain and suffering, emotional distress, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a loved one has been involved in a Chandler car accident, don't navigate the complex claims process alone. Contact Chandler Injury Lawyer for a free confidential consultation. The consultation is an opportunity for us to have a conversation about the facts and circumstances of the Chandler car accident, your injuries, your goals, and whether Paul Tyson is the right fit to help you pursue fair and reasonable compensation. Call 480-646-9382 or complete our contact form to schedule your consultation today. Let our insight, experience, and integrity guide you through the road to recovery.